I've got two questions for you. Where is the ancestral English village home of the first American president? And can we go there and find some relatives? Smithy is going to investigate. I'm Smithy, by the way. And if I couldn't, I wouldn't have made the video. Hello, I'm Smithy. And there somewhere is a Contiki. Now then, Carnforth railway station. I don't know if you know the history of Carnforth railway station. It's where the movie Brief Encounter with Trevor Howard was filmed. But we're not here to see that. We're going to drive to a little village not far from here. And I think it's the birthplace of the American flag. Also one of America's most famous people. I hope I can park, otherwise it's a 2-mile walk. Let's go and see. Well, I managed to park down there and it started raining. I did make a bit of a boob when I introduced the video at Carnforth train station, because I said it's this guy's birthplace. It's not, it's his relative's birthplace. And it'll all come to light in a minute. And some fabulous houses, let's just show you. Anyway, somebody's sending me a message. There's a good reason why I wanted to show you. Everybody's on lockdown and I thought, well, I'll walk around and I'll show you things while you stay in your nice cosy houses, keeping warm. Now just walk around this corner, I spotted something. This is what we're going to see. Now that tower on that church was built by this famous American's relatives or ancestors. And it'll become more apparent shortly. And I'm glad I didn't drive any further into the village, because it does get very narrow. Some nice campers over there. So we have a quick look. You see them? At the malt shovel. Anyway, have a look at these houses. Now you know why I'm glad I didn't drive through it. Let's have a look at the date on one of these. 15, is it 15 or 16? 1634. Let's have a look. Right, let's go and see what we've come for. Hello.
Hi.
Oh, you don't mind me looking at your car?
You can fix it for me.
What a shame. That's the type of vehicle you'd expect to see in an old English village.
No. Hi. Anyway, it's completely dead. You can see Warton in the middle of Warton. But I've got it parked up anyway.
Thank you.
Cheers. A few people have been pushing. I mean, I'm playing with it, but I'm just letting you know, if you come through Warton,
Now that's what you would expect to find in a little English village. What a shame it's brought down. Warton Old Rectory, built in the 14th century. Try to hold the camera steady, it's quite heavy when you got the handle on it and the sound on it and everything else. Anyway, this is the church I wanted to show you. That tower was built by the famous person's relatives. Have a look at the pub and it'll give the game away. Car coming. Don't run me over. Let's point the camera up a bit. You can the George Washington Arms. Does that give the game away? Let's go and look at the church. Now then, that tower we've come to see as well as the village and the pub. But this tower, or church tower, there's the church. It does get a lot of American tourists because that tower was built or paid for, and they actually fly the American flag on July the 4th. It was paid for by George Washington's ancestors because this is his ancestral home, Warton. W-A-R-T-O-N. Now there's two villages near me, Overton and Middleton. So the ton, T-O-N, is town. It's a very old graveyard. So the clue's in the name. This village is called Warton, W-A-R-T-O-N. Now, I don't think we can go in, but just bear with me. Oh. What a setting, eh? Right next to the tower that George Washington's ancestors paid for. Or, you know, believed to be paid for. Inside, which I think the door's locked due to this COVID, but is his ancestors' coat of arms. I'll try and show you a picture over me speaking, but the coat of arms, I believe, is the birthplace of the American flag. Because his coat of arms, or his family's coat of arms, is some stars at the top with some stripes. If that's not the birthplace of the American flag, I don't know what is. But it used to be outside and they took it in to, you know, for the weather, which it started to rain, but I was determined to bring you this video. I know you're all on lockdown and I thought, right, I'm going to take you around somewhere. What better place than George Washington's ancestral, you know, where his family are from. I believe they were from Durham and moved to this area, lived in a big hall at Warton. Obviously a big influential family in the area. Paid for the tower, and they moved to Virginia in, I think, 1647. If I'm wrong, put it in the comments. I could be wrong, but I think that was the time that they moved to Virginia, and you know, the British settlements there. And obviously the rest is history. The first American president. And this area does get a lot of American tourists. Some look it up and they want to come here because, you know, what a fascinating place. You've just seen one of the oldest cars in the little village, but if you do come and you're driving, park on the outskirts where I've parked if you can and walk in, because you'll never park in, you know, in the village itself. I'm being blown away, so I hope the sound's working all right. I might just move it inside my coat a little bit. There we go. Try and cover it up a little bit. I was just pleased to bring you out. And what better place to come? There's some strange markings, but anyway, July the 4th they fly the American flag. The pub flies the American flag. And the whole village celebrates Independence Day on George Washington's ancestors' behalf. So, hey, what a place. I hope you've enjoyed having a look round. We'll go and have a look and see if we can find anything else for you to show you. I'm just walking round having a look at some of these gravestones. Henry, son of John. Wouldn't it be fascinating if we found one that said Washington? Some of these are very old. I can't make that out. Margaret, beloved wife of Edward. I see some of these. If they're a wealthy family, it'd have been a wealthy. Clark, sister of the above. Sister of the above. Oh, Clark, so it's just Clark. Mary. 17th century, is it? Townsend, James Townsend, 13th of July 1866. Now we're looking for before then, aren't we? How long? You alright? Oh, you don't mind me walking round?
No. I know. It's not my chip.
Is it open? No, I didn't think it was open.
Yeah, I'd have been open over.
I was going to film the George Washington's coat of arms if I could get in there. Have you been here before? You don't know if there's any Washington gravestones anywhere, do you?
I don't know, I'm afraid.
No, that'd be fascinating to find one. I suppose you just walk around and look for the oldest ones.
We're looking now.
Yeah. What's this? Sacred, the memory of John Bower. John Bower. Turn the camera. I won't bore you with walking around everywhere. I'll walk around everywhere and I'll try and find one. And if I find one, I'll bring you back and we'll just see if we can find a Washington ancestral. You're going to look like something like this, look. And the problem is, there's nothing left of it. You'd have to do a rubbing, I suppose. Right, this is the... Right, so the writing is on this side, but you can hardly make anything out. Just there you can... I don't know what it is. I'll go and walk around and see if I can find anything. I'll keep going. We're back in a bit. See, this is what you're struggling with. These will be the oldest ones. But you can hardly make them out. I think it says Clarkson. Is it? No, it isn't. Jane Parkinson. Right, Jane Parkinson. So what we're looking for is the oldest graves, but not necessarily. You just never know if there's any more relatives. You know, it's something like that, isn't it? Let's have a little look. I won't waste much of your time looking around for names. I did say I was going to have a look, but I just wanted to... I haven't got my glasses on. Can't see what it says. Is it... Oh, Margaret something. June the 1810. These are probably the oldest graves, aren't they? I'll let you have one last look and then I'll go and have a look round. In memory of Hindman, 1837. Edward Jackson, 25, what's your name? What's this one? William Proctor of Carnforth, gentleman who departed 1838. Well, I'll do what I said. I'll have a look around and I'll see if I can come across any. Some you can't read, they're that old. And if I find one, I'll bring you back. See you in a bit. I'm going to enjoy myself looking around here. I'm worn out, but I've done it for you. Are you ready for this? I'm trying to get the light. Elizabeth, Washington. Right, June the 15th, 1750 something. Thomas Washington, clericus, it's in Latin, I can't read it. Anyway, I hope you can see that. Elizabeth Washington, right, June the 15th, 1751, Thomas Washington. There you go. Told you I'd find one. Fancy that? And that's where it is, right underneath a stained glass window. How good's that? I'm going to spend a few more minutes having a look round, see if I can find any more, because I think that's fascinating. To think that these could be related to the first American president. What's this one? In memory of... Oh no, Wilson. Anyway. Smithy investigates. Right, so I've had a good look everywhere. That is the only Washington grave that I can find. There could be more, but it's the only one I can find. But think of this, right? If you're going to honour the people that have paid for half the church, they deserve to be right next to it, don't they, really? So these people, these four, could be related. And that one is Washington, so there we go. So I would think that that's a relative of George Washington, and you know, a distant relative. Why else would it be next to the church, you know, rather than somewhere else? So that's my theory anyway. So from this church, you can see up there, that's the Washington Arms. And what a fascinating village. I hope you've enjoyed me bringing you out. I just thought I'd show you some of the history of where I live. I'm not from this village, but I don't live far from this part of Lancashire. So, anyway, I'm Smithy. Stay safe, be lucky, and I'll bring you some more videos shortly. See you soon.